So if you're going to go touring, there's some brilliant bikes out there. Probably not on the top of your list is a ZX4RR that revs to 16,000 RPM and is a little 400.
You are now watching Chad 76 Media.
So, we got some big miles to do today, and that's my Kawasaki ZX4RR. Not ideally built for long distance touring, but we're about 20 miles from the actual sea of the East Coast. So we're not too far from Hull and Brough and that kind of area, and we're going to head all the way to the other side of the country to the Lake District, which is about 200 miles. I've got to go visit some pals over at Knox, which are based in the Lake District. Bit of a ride around the lakes and then all the way back all in one go. The plan is to go from here through York, up the A19, then onto the A1-ish, Scotch corner, across on the 66 and then into the lakes that way. I'm going to refuel the 400, I'm going to brim it, I'm going to reset all the trips, reset all the MPGs, so at the end of the trip we'll know what it's doing to the gallon, we'll know what it's like for comfort. I already know that when you're on the motorway, that you're at 80 miles an hour it's 8,000 RPM, at 90 miles an hour it's 9,000 RPM, which sounds a lot, but it redlines at 16,000. I've still got my race numbers and my stickers on because I did a hill climb a couple of weeks ago and won that. So we know it's pretty good at hill climbs. We know it's good fun. I've ridden it on track in Spain and it's amazing. But what's it like doing something that it's not really designed for? Now I remember the original 400s. I can remember doing big miles on those bikes and NC30s and stuff like that. But then I was 21, not 40 something. So let's see if the old carcass can put up with it. So today we're going to go to the Lake District from East Yorkshire, basically 20-30 miles from the coast, all the way to the coast at the other side. 200 mile there, 200 mile back. I've got 106 mile on the range, so what I'm going to do to make sure it's fair is go to a petrol station, brim it, reset all the trips, reset the MPG and everything, and yeah, then it'd be interesting to see what it does to the gallon, because at 80 miles an hour it's doing 8,000 RPM. So yeah, that'll be interesting. But it is a beautiful day. I've put some extra waterproofs in my rucksack, I've got my cameras, spare pair of gloves, because I don't know what the weather's going to be like over in the lakes, but we shall find out shortly. So it's like 9:30 already. I wanted to leave at 8:30. How come every motorcycle trip that I ever do, I end up setting off late? I'm sure that happens to everybody. But yeah, I might have to do a few more motorway miles than I wanted to, just so I can make up a bit of time. But we shall see. I mean, ideally I want to go like loads of country roads to York, straight through York rather than round, because it's, and then up the A19, then across Scotch corner, across on the 66, but then pull off the 66 and do some really good fun roads, then back on the 66, then into the Lake District, kind of Windermere, and just have some fun and find some roads. But what I'll probably end up doing is doing a bit of a motorway stint to grind out some miles to get up onto the good road, which is up in Cumbria and up in the lakes. But then the roads over at this side are really good. I don't have a sat nav, I don't have a Garmin, what do you call them, quad lock phone holding things. I don't like doing any of that. I'm not saying they're not very good. I've been riding bikes for 30, oh god, maybe more. And I just want to do my own thing. I know where I'm going. Look at all that diesel. because I know where I'm going, I'll just kind of head in the general direction. Before sat-navs and everything, we just used signposts. So I know if I go north to Scotch Corner and then turn left and go along on the 66, I've kind of got a good idea of where I'm going. And then if I see some good roads, I'll just ride up and down them. That's the plan. I'll probably use my phone, in all honesty, once I get into the lakes, because I don't know the lakes that well, but I'll just stop and have a quick look, read some signposts. Look at all the diesel, read some signs. That'll do. But first things first, I need to fuel up. I would go left here to York, but I'm going to go straight on and get some fuel. More diesel, there's just diesel everywhere. We're not going to be going banzai. Well, there might be a few places where I do. But 6 gear, 5,000 RPM. It's really smooth at the bottom. It's not got loads of torque, so you don't have that like you do like on a big V-twin or something with bigger capacity. So it's not got much torque, obviously, but it's really simple and smooth and easy to ride. I'll deliberately leave it in a higher gear and just trickle it through here. So that's 2 and a bit RPM, 5th gear. Pulls up to 40, easy. We're going to leave it in the standard, oh, in sport actually. I might put it back into a lesser mode. And now we're going to brim it. So we're going to fill it, reset all the trips. The range says I've got 136 miles and I've got 3/4 of a tank. So I mean, that's till it's empty, so I reckon with a full tank we might get 130, 140 mile, but we shall see. But the sun is shining, I know the roads. Let's see how the little 400 does when we get some big miles. So the next update will probably when we hit some good roads or when the fuel light comes on. Alright, let's get some fuel here. Run to sound good. So we've just got into Cumbria. We've done exactly 100 mile. I'll show you where I am. So we're in the kind of, well, middle of nowhere, but it is beautiful, albeit a little bit cold. So I'm just going to put another Nox layer on underneath here because it's a bit fresh. We've done 100 mile exactly. I've got about 60 miles left on the range. It's averaging exactly 50 miles per gallon. And the last stint was pretty fast stuff, so a lot of motorway and dual carriageway. But now it's more ZX4 territory. It is a little bit cold, tends to put my summer gloves in the bodywork to warm them up a bit. Oh, it's a bit fresh. But we've done 100 mile in an hour and a half-ish. Let's go check some roads. nothing up here. Oh, damn hell. Wow, it's bumpy. The suspension's really good actually. Oh, a bit blind through here. It's not like a race bike, it is soft. God, these roads are small. That way. Was it that way? I don't know. Oh, that's a bit blind. It's like being on a roller coaster. So, how nice is this? Got like a little stream running over there. We're well into the Lake District. I don't actually know what lake that is. We're near Keswick, I think it is. So we're just taking a little diversion just to set the cameras up. The fuel light wasn't on yet, but I think because it's been on its side stand it might be, so just let's check. So we got we've done 150 miles spot on, and we've averaged 59 miles an hour, 2.5 hours, 55 mpg. But we're down to the last bar, so but we're not far from where, well, our lunchtime stop is, so I should be able to get there on one tank of fuel. 150 miles before the Rangers come on. I think that's pretty good going, to be fair. Should give us a range. Wait for it to click in. $70 miles left apparently. Oh, how nice is this? Beautiful, eh? Not a lot of cars about. Done 150 mile. I've averaged 59 mile an hour, 2.5 hours, and 55 mpg. Lovely, isn't it? I don't come this far very often, but I do like it when I do. Right, let's get going. What range have I got left? Well, it's not giving me range yet. It's fun, isn't it? You just rev it then. Just run on. So these are average 50 here. So I've got 70 miles left. I don't actually feel that uncomfortable. The screen is low, so you get a lot of wind blast on your chest and your upper body. Mirrors aren't so bad. Bodywork is small as you would expect, and it over the top it got quite cold and I could feel it. So, and you get to about 90 and you get a lot of pressure on your crash helmet because, well, the screen's just not big enough basically. So maybe a bigger screen if you're going to do some bigger mileage, but the suspension's quite soft. It's not a rigid little 400 race bike. It's quite plush and quite soft, and the seat's quite squishy as well. The seat's quite soft. I thought it'd be going to be a lot worse than it is. I mean, we've done 151 mile, and I don't feel like I've ridden a race bike for 151 mile. I feel like I've ridden I mean, it's not a sports tourer, but I'm fine. The fuel light's going to come on soon. I've done 2.5 hours of riding, so I want to take a break anyway. Get a coffee, maybe get some lunch, and yeah, I'm quite happy with this. So yeah, 150 mile and I'm happy. I have ridden sports bikes that were a lot worse than this. I'm nearly 5'7" for reference, so obviously a taller rider might be a little bit different, but I am more than happy or comfortable. Seat's not so bad, legs aren't too bad. 150 mile, that's pretty good. Engine and handling and brakes and everything like that, the engine just lacks a mid-range, especially when you're going uphill. So when you're going uphill and you want to overtake and you're in top, you got to come back to fourth, or well, yeah, you do have to come back to fourth. But apart from that, it's quite enjoyable, because when you get on the little twisty roads away from all these average speed cameras, there's a few kicking about now, then you can rev it and have some fun, and it makes it feel like you're going a lot faster than you actually are, because you're revving the little nuts off the thing and it feels like you're flying. Then you look down and you're doing like 80, 90, which I know is still quick, but it's not ZX10 quick or ZX6 quick. $60 miles an hour, 6,000 RPM. But yeah, the weather's, it's alright actually. It's autumn, it's the UK, so fuel lights just come on. That's alright. 100 and let's say 55 mile. I got 60 mile apparently till I run out of fuel completely. Average speed 59 mile an hour, 2 hours and 40, and 55 mile per gallon. That's good. That's really good. Right, let's go back to the range. That's that one there. So 62 miles. So I've got 62 miles to find a fuel stop. And obviously that range goes up and down depending on how fast I'm going. So realistically I reckon I've got about, if I go steady, maybe 30-40 mile. But if I remember rightly, there's a fuel stop just up here, so we'll fuel up and get some lunch and decide where we're going next. Right, let's get some fuel. Maybe time for a bit of lunch, a bit of Starbucks, and we'll go again. Have we got any fuel? Yes. Cool. Refueled. So I'll reset one trip and keep one trip going. So I've done 160 mile and I've still got to get home, obviously. So that's over 300 today. So trip A we'll keep there, trip B, so to reset it you got to take one hand off. That's reset. Job done. It does feel, oh, range 252 mile apparently. Find that hard to believe. but it feels a lot it's a lot warmer over here. When I went over the top I was freezing. In town it's actually quite smooth because there's none of that kind of jerkiness, because there's no torque at the bottom, and the quick shift is really smooth. So we're refueled, I've reset the trip, I'll reset the average speed because we're going to be doing a lot more country road stuff now, and then that'll reset the fuel as well. So average speed, press that, and then time I'll leave, and MPG, well, it was 55. I'll just reset that, and leave the range as is. Clocks are pretty easy to use. I'll put it in road mode as well. And when you want to reset them, you just use these buttons here, so you have to take one hand off, but everything else is done on the left side. Just now, I mean, we've probably done 3 hours now without a break, apart from that fuel stop. And yeah, now I'm starting to, I can feel it. 160 mile-ish, nearly 3 hours in the saddle-ish. Yeah, I know tourers that are worse. So yeah, we'll have a good long break, good bit of lunch, look at the map, and go again. How nice this is. So a bit of lunch, back on the road at 3 o'clock. Got another 160, 170 miles to get back, depending on which way I go back, but I'm kind of going to go north of the Lake District is the plan. So I'm currently on the road to Carlisle, I think it is, coming out the lakes, and then I'm going to kind of weave my way back down towards the 66 somehow, but again I'm just going to kind of wing it. That's the plan, but feel a lot more refreshed, but that might change in a couple of hours time. Oh, 595 is what I'm on when I start going over the top, because it looks like it's going to rain now. But I've got waterproofs, I've got different gloves in my rucksack, we should be alright. Yeah, even at this like real gentle pace, it's quite soft, and then you can feel it going through the stroke when you go through the undulations. So I imagine, even though I did that hill climb on it, when you get it on a track, you're going to need to tweak it a bit. This is just open and nice. I don't come to the Lake District enough, and I need to start doing it a bit more, I think. Oh. I could just do, I don't want this road to end. Just keep doing this, right all the way home on these type of roads. Look at the views. Oh, this is in autumn. Good bike, not too cold, dryish roads. I have no idea where this road goes. That looks a bit slippery. Has it rained here? I think it might have done. Don't think I've ever been down this road. Nice. Just easy and fun. So this is like the only little drawback of the little 400 is that when you're behind slow moving vehicles, you ain't got that drive to go through. You've got to get it back to fourth or even third. So you've got enough power. You don't have to scream it to pieces to scare people, but it just takes a little bit more planning. Even more so when you don't know the road and you've got two cars to pass. Oh, we're stopping for some reason. A little bit of a straight. There you go. Easy enough. Oh, what a nice bit of road. Don't know if he's going to pull out. Slow down. Back two. We're all good. Oh, yeah. I've got to keep the speeds of the riding legal, sorry. But 62, that's alright. We're not out to break any lands. Oh, red car, what's he doing? Come back a few. Let's parked. Whoa, wet on the exit. You can see through that bit. Now just when you come over some of the crests, you can feel it's a bit soft in the stroke. Don't know what's round there. Might seem high in the RPM, but it's alright. 8,000 RPM. But it revs to 16. This is where you need that bigger screen. Or a bit more bodywork. Yeah, it's almost starting to get a bit dark. We'll do some of this dual carriageway, go across the motorway, back across to Scotch Corner, because it looks like it's going to absolutely bucket it down any minute. Fingers crossed it doesn't. I think it will stop and get another layer on, make sure my waterproofs are ready, because that looks like it's going to absolutely bounce down the drain. I love that on the down changes. Doesn't even know I'm here. I'm not home yet, but we set off at 9:45 this morning. We've done 300 miles. We've been to the Lake District and back. We're just south of York. I've done 6 hours in the saddle. Fuel range is 150 miles to a tank. 50 mpg on the first tank, a bit more on the second, and we're getting more range on the second tank because I just riding it a little bit slower. So let me have a little. So as you can tell, the light is just about gone. So I thought I'd give you a quick rundown. So after about 3 hours is about my limit, I think, there or thereabouts. 2.5, fine. 3, needed a break, and then did another kind of hour and a bit, and it felt okay. But at 5 hours coming through York, I was like, yeah, I need a coffee and another break. It's a lot comfier than I thought it would be, way more comfier than I thought it would be. The tank range is a lot better than I thought it would be, like 150, 160 miles to a tank. Even though it's revving really high, it's way better on fuel than I thought it would be. The screen is too low for anything above 80, 90. But the seat is actually quite comfortable. The riding position's reasonably roomy. It's quite soft. It's not a radical, rigid, tiny, eeny sports bike. It's much, much more like a 600 in terms of physical dimensions. And I've done, 6 hours, 300 miles. Who would have thought it? The only difference I've got on this is that I've changed the tyres. Everything else is standard, and the Akrapovic is Euro 5 plus. So that's not being changed or modified in any way. If I was going to do some more big miles, I'd change the screen, put a double bubble screen on that. And apart from that, that's it. The mirrors work well, clocks are informative, easy to use. The rider position's reasonably roomy. You just miss a little bit of torque when you want to overtake and you have to come back a few gears. But that's the enjoyment and fun of having a 400. Well, it is to me. So, hope you've enjoyed the little spin round on the 400. 300 miles of touring done. Way better than I thought it would be. Next up, I think we need to do something a bit quicker and a bit more radical. Any questions? Fire away as usual.